Julius, what's up, man?
How are you?
Good, good. How are you? How's the Thursday so far?
Good. Got to sleep in, just had some food. A little bit of allergies. It warmed up in St. Louis, so everybody's sneezing.
Oh no.
So I got that thing too now.
That sound a little stuffed up, man. So that's no fun.
Yeah.
Well, other than that, we're all good. Just the allergies and the new climate, right? Getting used to it.
Yes.
Have you been to Missouri before?
Well, I've been living here for
Oh, okay. My bad.
yeah, yeah. We are fighting 10 minutes away from where I live.
Oh wow, that's kind of convenient then.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, do you like that? A little bit of a home game for you then this time.
Uh, Definitely. Well, I mean, originally, like from Lithuania, moved to New York. I was
Right,
there for
right.
a while, and then yeah, then I came here. Definitely good for a change. No traveling, no nothing. And after the fight, I'll just be home.
Yeah.
Like, won't have to stay at the hotel another night, this or that. So it's good. I like it, and I'm sure like it's gonna be a big home crowd as well. So I'm sure that's gonna um, be another big plus.
Right, exactly. I mean, anytime you don't kind of have to go through the extra hoops of, the hotel and all that kind of thing, probably just makes everything smoother. So, yeah, very excited, man. So, do you think that it's a safe chance we can expect some breakdancing moves then?
Maybe possible. Never know. Depends how I feel.
Right, right. Yeah, I remember you busting those out at your last fight, man. So that was a fun time. So, and, unfortunately, that last fight ended up being a loss for you, man. So, I mean, just to get it out of the way, I'm curious, how you reflect on it now, and especially going into this one, your first title fight, only the second loss. Like, how much extra motivation has that made for you to, come into this one with Phil and try and rebound?
Definitely feel more motivated and just feel better overall about it. So I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I always say, it's like, well, I could feel fine, but it's like what matters the most is how you feel the night of the fight, and that's when it matters the most. But like I do feel better much more often than I did for my previous one. Definitely feel more motivated. Yeah, just better overall. And shoot, like whatever happens, happens. But I do feel like I'm gonna perform much better.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just gotta learn from those kind of things and move onward, right? Can't dwell on it.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, with that in mind, like, how did kind of that experience of, getting that fight and unfortunately it being a loss compared to your first loss way back in the day? Because, it was a while since you had felt that feeling.
Yeah.
So, how does you kind of learn, take those experiences in the comparison?
I think this one was a little bit, since it was such a big fight. Well, it was pretty much as big as it gets.
Yeah.
Like, I think all the attention caught me off guard a little bit too. Excuse me. Yeah, all the attention, the lights, it was just like big jump. I was like, whoa. And I didn't realize when people would say, like, ooh, like the lights get into people's
Hmm.
heads, this and that. It's like, I didn't realize that till after the fight. It's like, well, that's what people meant what,
Right.
about the lights or people trying to contact you, blah, blah, blah. I mean, and people will contact me, and it's not a bad thing. I would do the same thing. Like if one of my friends fighting, like I would reach out as well. But I'm sure like nobody realizes how much everyone
Yeah.
reaches out and how like crazy it
A
gets.
little
And
distracting, I'm sure.
it is. And I was like trying to be a nice guy, of course, and like respond to everybody, this and that, give everybody time. And at the same time, like I was enjoying the distraction a little bit,
Hmm.
almost like cool. Like I'm not thinking too much about the fight. I get to not to stress. I get to enjoy because like sometimes it's like I'm way too stressed, and people are saying, Julius, you gotta find that medium. You gotta enjoy the process as well. So I guess maybe because I was enjoying it too much.
Mm.
Maybe, I don't know. But at the same time, you can enjoy and be focused as well. So right now, I'm gonna enjoy, but also do my part to do what I need to do. So if it gets too overwhelming with text messages or this and that, I'll just respond when I feel like it.
Yeah.
No hard feelings. I gotta do my part.
Yeah, man. Well, it's funny. I remember that fight weekend, hanging around you as we were, doing the stuff for the fight, and you were very chill the whole time, and like you wouldn't even have known that, you had the big fight. It was like you're taking it all in so much stride. So I think you
Yeah,
handled it very well leading up to it in terms of not being overwhelmed.
definitely. But I feel I need a little bit more of that overwhelming,
Right.
just to keep my mind like sharp and just being ready for anything. Um, Plus, I had like a few little things I was dealing with, but now those things are behind me. So we'll see how it goes. And I mean, it could still go either way. I mean, Phil is amazing fighter, and when you're at that level, it almost becomes like 50-50. You don't know who's gonna win,
Yeah.
just because everybody's just like so good now that it's just like anything can happen. And it's not like beginner pro days when it's like, yep, this is definitely not equal matchup. So but right now it's like anybody's game, and definitely feel better about it. So I still hate all the waiting though. I just can't wait to get
Right.
this over with.
Almost there, man. Almost there. So it's interesting though, Julius. Like I remember in that fight, and I want to ask, like, when it comes to how present minded like you are in a fight, because there was the moment, where you had him pretty hurt, you dropped him, right? And that was a crazy moment, like, oh my God, he's about to do it. It seemed like you had him in a lot of trouble. So I'm curious for
Yeah.
you in a moment like that. Do you recognize that, or is it kind of like just autopilot and you kind of black out a little bit? Do you remember that kind of thing?
Uh, yeah, I remember completely. Well, at the beginning of my career, I used to swarm people,
Hmm.
and I used to kind of go too crazy. Like, for example, like if you punch, you still want to be at punching distance. I would just get chest to chest, try to punch, and
Yeah.
like it would just be not proper at all. And so we were trying to slow it down. And since the concept of like, okay, if I touched you, like, all right, don't get excited. You can touch him again. You can hit him again. Because I used to have that also thing. It's like, if I hit you, it's like, oh my God, I hit you. I can end this fight in 5 seconds if I just hit you a few times right now again. So when I hit him, and like, yeah, he dropped, and I'm like, all right, cool. You hit him. Don't get too excited. You'll hit him again. Like, you'll just keep piecing him up. He'll be fine. And then he'll crumble. Don't waste your gas out. And at the same time, I don't think he was too hurt.
Hmm.
Like, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But like me being there and looking at him, I think he was more shook up that I hit him and then I dropped him. And he thought I was going to swarm him. So he looked all
Right.
scared and spazzy and like running away from me. Just because maybe he thought, yeah, I'll just go crazy at him. But I don't think he was too hurt. So I think me rushing him maybe would not have been the best plan.
Hmm.
Sure, yes, would love to see it go back in time and see how what it worked out. But I think he was fine. So
Yeah.
I think I did the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we don't have time machines, but
Right.
surely
Yeah,
there,
all the
there could be an
all the shoulda,
opportunity.
coulda, woulda,
Yeah,
all the shoulda, coulda, woulda things.
exactly.
And since that, like with each fight, I don't judge other fighters anymore because my mind works different than your mind. Like I had so many comments. Oh, maybe you should have rushed him, and I'm like, maybe you should shut up. Like, because everybody said I got him hurt. Like, sure, I dropped him, but me looking in his eyes, I don't think I had him hurt. I think he just got really surprised. And he was like, well, I'm out of here. Like, he's going to come at me right now. And I mean, I had the fights where it's just like, I rather hold on than punch. It's like, little mental triggers like I'd rather hold on.
Yeah.
And like same thing with like amateurs and pros. Like when you see something, it's like why he doesn't do this, why he doesn't do that. Well, I don't see what he's seeing. Like
Exactly.
I'm not in the mindset that he is right now. Maybe the whole world is crashing on him right now. Even though if it's an amateur fight, he's in the fight. It's the craziest thing. I don't know how he's feeling. Like it's like end of the world for him right now. So he's just doing whatever. So after those few moments, I just decided to like, I need to not tell people, oh, you should have done this, should have done that, because it's not easy. It looks easy from the outside.
Right.
It looks
They're
very
not the ones
simple
in
from
that
the
moment.
outside. Right. Because and they don't know what the moment is. It's so foreign that it's like in a sparring, you can hit the guy, you can punch, everything is fine. I mean, in the practice, but in the fight, it's like sometimes you're not even sure how far is too far or how close they are.
Yeah.
It's like the person is in front of you just as much as in the practice, but it's like you see him so much further, so much closer. Like I can't judge the distance. It's so just crazy. So it's, yeah, people don't know. I don't even know when other people fight. I don't know what they're thinking. So I'm gonna let it be a good fight. If something's wrong, just I hope you go and fix it.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I mean, it's so interesting to me. There's always, going to be that debate, I think, of whether MMA as a sport overall is more physical or if it's more mental. And, some will say maybe it's a perfect 50-50, but for you think it weighs in one side more, maybe the mental?
I think I think naturally I put in the physical work. I think that's not a struggle for me. While like I do feel all the technical part, like that came with a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Like it took me a long time to like get it. While I see other people, they don't work hard, but they're like natural at fighting. I'm like, what? Like, damn, I wish I had what you had. So I definitely feel like maybe the mental part is a little bit harder for me. But at the same time, I feel that's something that can be fixed. Like you see some professional, you are talking by simply meditating for like 5 minutes, you can like flip that around, and I've done it. So it's something I think easier to work on versus trying to work on hard work.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could be wrong. I'm sure for some other people, like
All right,
that
different
would
for
be
everybody.
easy.
That's the thing about it, right?
Of course, yeah, different for everybody. Um, so is it like 50-50 for majority? Yeah, just like you said, different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it's so cool because everyone's like such an individual character. So
Yeah, no, definitely. It's very interesting to me, so that's why it's always fun to see what different people think. So it's like human chess, as they say.
yep.
So, but we've already mentioned Phil a little bit, Julius. Obviously, the next man in front of you. So another big name. It's kind of like you go from the title fight to pretty close. I mean, former champ. He's been around forever, going back to the UFC and all that. I mean, how exciting is kind of this matchup for you, and just how do you think you stack up with him in general?
It's super exciting. I mean, I'm already in the boat with the big fish.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like not gonna be easy fights for me anymore, which is fine because that's what I kind of signed up for a long time ago. I always wanted to be like, it's funny whenever you like at the beginning of the whole career and everything, or even before, everybody always dreams about, oh man, I wish I was there, like fighting all these big names, blah blah blah. I wish I was main event. Not until it happens. Then it's like a lot of stress, and it's like it's crazy. But you need to remember that, like, no, you wished for this, you wanted this, so like bring that feeling back. So since this is what I'm doing, it's like part of it's like be careful what you wish for, but at the same time, it does prove that whatever you are wishing for and you work for, that can come. So it's here. So it's cool. Like there is no, oh my God, I'm scared. Oh my God, this and that. No, 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 no. Like you worked for it, you wanted this, you got it. Like cool. Like this is awesome. Like this is what you wanted this whole time. I remember when I wanted when I used to watch fights, even before I used to fight, I used to see like on the side of the cages, like people's faces, and they showed the
Yeah,
dates of when
yeah,
they're gonna fight, blah blah blah. And I saw that they had that for my last fight, and I recorded it real quick, like posted it
yeah.
because it was crazy. It's like for like 10 years before that or so, I was just like, or like yeah, 9, 10 years ago, I was like, damn, like that would be cool to have my face on the side of the thing. And it happened. I was like,
Yeah.
what? And it happened again for this fight as well. My brother sent me a video. There was a fight, I guess, last week ago, and like my face was on the side and like my name was on the bottom too with Phil's. So it's like, cool. So it's
Here
like,
we are.
here we are. Um, you got what you wish for, you got what you trained for. So this is it. Like, you're there. So yeah, with Phil, it's a big name, also a big wrestler. Very, very good wrestler, super explosive, super strong. So at the same time, it is more like, I guess, slightly um, like positioned to redeem myself.
Mhm.
Oh, spirit, okay, here we go. He has like slight position for me to redeem myself. Um, I kind of showed that my last fight was a fluke, so it's good. And I mean, at the end, whatever happens, happens. Like, because it is that little weird pressure. It's like, oh, I lost once. What happened if I lose twice in a
Mm.
row? Like, no, that's cool. Yeah, sure, we have it. But like, again, like I said, like in this game, everybody's so good. It's like it's 50-50. Like people are going to lose a few times in a row. That doesn't mean you suck. Like you're still good. You fought
Right.
one of the top guys in the world. So you're fine. Like what you're stressing about. So like that's definitely what I used to think more often. And now it's like that thought again, but it doesn't bother me now much. Now it's just like, okay, yeah, fight. Like everything's fine. Um, but yeah, I think the idea is pretty much like how we fought police. You just will try to keep it standing. And I mean, if we're wrestling, we're wrestling, and I'm
Hmm.
sure we will have to. And I was doing plenty of that too. So it'll be a tough one, but it'll be a fun one.
Yeah, I mean that's the interesting thing about Phil Davis. I think in particular with as his career has gone on, like we don't see him as wrestle as much as he used to. You know, especially in Bellator, I feel like he's used his striking a lot. And you know, some people even argue he should have wrestled more against Nemkov in the rematch. Maybe you know could have pulled it off, but we'll never know, right? But
Yeah.
um, I mean, is that something you kind of look at and maybe not wanting to test his wrestling because he is very good at that, but like how much do you assess it and be like, all right, he isn't actually doing that very much. How can can I expect him to do that to me? Like surprise you with it? You know what I mean?
I'm sure it's there, but he's well rounded enough that he can do anything.
Hmm.
Um, like yeah, he has all the tools, he has everything, and I'm sure with age, like wrestling just catches up with you. You can't just wrestle like how it used to be,
Yeah.
and I'm starting to feel it too, like injuries here and there. I had injuries during this camp that was just like stressing me out. I'm sure he's injured too, um, but he's such a big superstar. I mean, fights pay bills, and you still got to get paid, still got to perform, and still people want to see you. So, um, yeah, maybe he does rest a little more, less. I mean, right now, but I know he still has it in him. If he has to do it, he'll do it. Not a
Hmm.
problem. It's just maybe his body's a little bit more worn out, and maybe rather avoid it. If I don't need it, I won't use it.
Yes.
But um, I'm sure if he has to use it, he'll remember everything right away.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the impression I got from him speaking to him yesterday was like someone like Yoel Romero too, who obviously older than Phil, older than most guys, if we're going to be honest, and was an Olympian and all that. And we really don't see him wrestle that much in MMA at all. Probably because
Right.
his
Yes.
body's been through it so much that he's like, if I don't have to, maybe
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I haven't. It's like I forget that he used to wrestle.
Right.
Yeah, I guess he just can't no more. I don't know if it's his neck or what, but yeah, but the guy is just like such a hammer that it's like, I mean, he's still tough, still competitive. Like, it's not like people try to wrestle him.
Right.
I mean, maybe, but maybe I didn't see it, but
Yeah.
still not so much.
Yes.
He's just good at keeping it all standing, and he's durable. But um, did he give up any game plans?
Well, I mean, you can watch yourself. No,
Okay.
not in particular, but
I'm sure
a
he's like,
fair
oh,
question.
well,
It was worth a
like
try.
that would have changed
Yeah.
everything. I'm sure he's gonna try to punch me, kick me, and take me
Yes.
down and do damage. So
Yeah,
it's all good.
for sure, man. So,
Yeah, he was super nice to me. When it was my third Bellator fight, he came up and he talked to me.
oh, really?
Yeah, he was so nice to me. Um, I didn't realize it was Phil. It took me a second because he had a mask on. Yeah, he came up to me. He's like, "Oh my God, Julius! Like, I heard a lot of good things about you. Can't wait to see your
Oh,
fight."
that's
Blah blah
awesome.
blah. And I'm like, "Oh shit! Thank you."
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is really cool of him, especially, him being, obviously around longer. Would have been in the other direction where you're like, hey, Phil Davis, right? But he recognized you, so
yeah,
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. Plus, I mean, I didn't see him. I was just like standing, we were doing our temperature
Yeah,
checks,
yeah.
all that, and I guess he like maybe I thought he was one of the workers or something. I don't know. And he was like, Julius. I'm like, yeah. He was like, oh my God. Da, da, da. We started talking. Yeah, he was super cool.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a very nice guy. So, I mean, does that make it harder a little bit when you're like, my opponent's actually, a great person. They're not a douchebag or anything.
He makes the fight camp makes the fight week makes easier. It's not
Mm,
as awkward. It's already kind of an icebreaker. It's like, hey, what's up? Da, da, da. Like you walk in by the hallways, like everything is cool. Fighting, I think that will be normal fighting. Like I don't think we're gonna hold back at all.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but maybe he doesn't like all the stress and drama in between. Like, oh, we got a tough guy. Like he's
Hmm.
being like I'm sure he doesn't like that. I don't like that. So we almost like gentleman's agreement. All right, let's be cool with each other. Let's joke. I mean, I haven't spoken to him since then.
Yeah,
I'm sure we're gonna see each other. But yeah, we should like we don't need it. He does, like you say, he's been long enough around.
hmm,
Um, and yeah, we already kind of met each other, so I'm sure we'll be cool. And yeah, when the fight comes, I'm sure neither one of us is gonna hold back anything.
right.
So it'll be easy flip.
Yeah, man, total professionals. So, looking very much forward to it. And it's funny, I did ask him too, though, about having been around for so long. We've never seen him like at heavyweight, and obviously Bellator's kind of seen. Some fighters go back and forth. Obviously, Bader comes to mind, was able to hold two titles. But I mean, you're a big guy too, Julius. I remember, seeing you. You're very tall for the division and all that. I mean, have you ever thought about heavyweight at some point? Maybe not too soon, but like, I feel like you could do just fine there.
That idea was brought up to me a few times. I remember my first Bellator fight, Young Mo said that a few times, and the second one, I think it was him or someone else said it. Maybe within like few years,
Hmm.
because right now my weight just kind of stays the same.
Yeah.
Um, maybe if the weight cut, I mean, if the weight stays the same, maybe the weight cut itself is gonna start getting harder. Um, but right now I still feel good. So, but I do see and yeah, it was kind of brought up to me as well by a few different people.
Yeah.
that it might happen in the future. So I think so. Like, if it's definitely something to test it out, to explore. Um, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean it's an option, you know. At some point, it doesn't have to
Exactly.
be next or anything, but
Right. Yeah.
yeah. So always nice to have options, but won't worry about that now. So it's interesting, Julius. I mean, this is always a tough question that I ask to people, so I got to ask you
Prediction.
too, man. Not a prediction, no, no, no. Well, kind of, but
Okay.
I mean, I know you're going to predict yourself to win, so I'm not going to bother with that. But, if you never got into MMA, man, what do you think? What do you think you'd be doing right now?
That is interesting because,
Another time machine question. Sorry.
right. Well, because I started thinking about doing MMA a while ago before I even actually started doing. So I have to go back like really, really far
Yeah.
to like where I started thinking about it. Like I wanted to, oh man, like after high school, everybody's being pushed into college to pick a major, but like you don't know what you want to do until you're done with school and then actually exploring the
Exactly.
workplaces. So I was like thinking to become like PE teacher. Like I'm kind of glad I'm not at this moment in the world, but I don't know because that's the thing. It's like I was pushed to go to college, pick a major, and the only thing that was on my mind was, what do I like? I like gym class because
Hmm.
that's the only thing I knew. Like you go to school and sports was the only thing. So okay, sports, and what's the favorite class? Gym class. That's the only thing I know in the world. Okay, I'm gonna become a gym teacher. And then like when I got my degree and everything, it's like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna be a gym teacher. I'm gonna go fight. So yeah, the second I just finished my degree, I just like, nope, I'm not gonna do this. I'm glad I got it. It's a good degree to have it, to show it off. But I'm gonna fight. So, oh man, it's definitely if not fighting, if not gym class, then I definitely like would have done something
Hmm.
sports related. Maybe would have worked at the gym or something, scanning IDs.
Did you get a degree in teaching, or what exactly was
Yep,
it? Okay.
yep, yep. K through 12.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, that's a good like security blanket, I guess. If you know
Yeah,
for some reason you couldn't fight
yeah,
tomorrow or anything.
right.
But man, if you had the option of being a professional breakdancer or a professional DJ, which would you pick?
Well,
Like those were your only two choices.
I can't dance to save my life. I just know a few moves. Like that's the thing. Like I
Okay.
wouldn't be able to just stand and dance like how you see people dance in the club where they just move. I can't do that.
Just a spin.
I just yeah, just know I just knew a few moves that said that look cool. Um, but yeah, they always say they just tricks, not so much of a dance move. They just
Right.
tricks. Um, or a DJ. Definitely professional breakdancer if I could dance.
Hmm.
But in this scenario, since I can't dance, I guess the DJ is the only thing I have left. I would just press play on the iPod and I would just pretend like I'm doing something.
Oh man, that's insulting to the DJs, man. They're gonna like to hear that.
Yeah, but
Even though that is what many do these
I've seen
days.
it right. I mean, sure, maybe yeah, you can switch songs depending on like how people feel at the moment, but for most part, I have not seen much difference between actual DJ and when someone puts an iPod.
Right, right. Totally
I'm
fair.
sorry, that's it. Just to me, it sounds the same.
Yeah, Yeah, that's for sure. So, yeah, well, thankfully you don't have to pick between those. So
Yeah,
stick to
definitely want
punching
to.
people.
Yeah, definitely want to do this for as long as I can.
Absolutely, man, and love watching you do it. So 30 minutes here, Julius. Appreciate the time so much. I can leave you off. Hopefully, I didn't keep you too long. I know
Oh
probably
no, you're
busy.
good. You're fine.
All right, appreciate it, man. So very much looking forward to this fight. Gonna be fun. Cool that you don't have to go very far for it. Always good catching up with you. So I appreciate it greatly, man. And until next time. So take care, man. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Have a good one.
All right,
Bye bye.
Julius. See ya.